Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Avinash and in this video I'm going to talk about a service called Apache Kafka. In AWS the service name is MSK. So how exactly we can create a MSK cluster, how we can authenticate by using IAM authentication as well as secrets manager authentication method. Okay, so firstly, if you don't know what is Kafka, so basically this Kafka is a distributed event streaming platform. So this in simple, unknowingly we are actually using this Apache Kafka. For example, if you are taking applications like Uber, LinkedIn, Swiggy, right? So these all applications actually using this Apache Kafka to deliver the updates near real time. Okay, so for example, uh, if you book a cab, so what happened? The maps, right? It will continuously shows you whether driver is moving or not. So till where the driver came, it shows all the things, right? So the graph is going to update immediately when the driver is moving. Automatically it will show you the message here, the same thing, the movement in your mobile application. So how exactly this is happening? So this Apache Kafka, right, it's a real time data streaming. So we have some components like producers, consumers. Okay, so basically producer means who generates the data, who writes the data. So for example, you book a cab. Okay, so the driver is somewhere else. So now you open your application. Okay, so you can see where the driver is, whether he is moving or not. So how this application knows whether driver is moving or not? So basically the application uses the driver's um, mobile phone and it continuously generates or reads okay, his geographical location and it sends to the customer. So basically here the driver mobile phone is acting as a producer to generate the message, and as a customer I can see where the cab is. I'm just reading, okay, whatever message is generated by the driver's mobile phone, I'm reading that here. So I called as a consumer. So broker means like the server, so in between a central server, so who takes a message from the driver mobile phone, who gives that message to end customers mobile phone. So this thing, right, it is managed by broker. So basically topic, right, it's a kind of a feed name. Okay, so we can group some messages into a topic for streaming purpose. All right, so these four are primary things. So message itself is a message. Okay, so this is a another example for food delivery system. In, for example, you open Swiggy or Zomato, you order something in Swiggy or Zomato. Here restaurant acting as a producer. So how restaurant acting as a producer? So the restaurant have to accept the order, restaurant have to update the status, food is preparing, right, food is prepared, ready to pick up. These all messages the restaurant is updating. So immediately that message goes to the delivery person, so he can go there and he can pick it, and immediately when that guy picked, right, it automatically generate another message, but basically the delivery executive is going to click on order picked. So immediately the end customer also will get a message, okay, your order is picked, your order is about to deliver, right? So such type of all messages. So we have multiple producers, multiple consumers, right? So those all centrally managed by something called brokers. Okay, so to understand this better, I'm going to create an Apache Kafka cluster that's named as MSK. Okay, so Amazon Managed Streaming for Apache Kafka MSK service. So I'm going to create a cluster. So then I will use an EC2 instance to get connected to the cluster. Then I will configure some basic things like the producer as well as consumer. Okay, so for that, first click on create cluster. So we do have an option like quick create or custom create. I'm going with the custom create option. I want to have more control on the process. Custom create, cluster name YT demo is the name I have given, and Apache Kafka version 3.5.1, that is the AWS recommended one. I'm going with 3.5.1, and the cluster metadata is managed by something called Zookeeper. And here is a broker. Sometime back we have seen, right? A manages storage and serves as the communication hub for this producers as well as consumers. Within this broker, we can create topics. Okay, and each topic divide into partitions for better scalability. Right. So now, how big broker you required? So you can go here and you can select. So basically this is for demo purpose, right? So I'm going with very small configuration, kafka.t3 small, and number of zones. So for high availability and fault tolerant purpose, so this AWS suggests us to create multiple clusters in multiple availability zones, these brokers in multiple availability zones. Okay, so 3 is a recommended one, but we are good with 2 also. So we are taking 2 availability zones, and each availability zone will have a broker. So that means we will have 2 brokers of this kafka.t3 small configuration. And scroll down and you can select the storage. So default it is picking 1000, not really required. 10 GB is absolutely fine for us. And EBS storage we are using, and we have an option like we can choose cluster configuration, the basic default settings. So you want to go with custom configuration, right? You can create configuration and we can define settings, right? So what is IO threads required, how many partitions you required, Zookeeper session timeout in milliseconds. So such type of configuration related things we can configure. So I'm going with a default configuration for now, then click on next. And we do have multi VPC private connectivity. So that means so this MSK cluster you can make it available for another VPC resources as well. Okay, so where you want to run this cluster? I'm going to run this in my default VPC. And what are the zones you want to select? So as I'm in Hyderabad region, the region code is AP South 2 and subnet ID is 2A, and I'm selecting that 2 subnets 2A and 2B I'm selecting here, and public access I'm going to set it off, and we need a security group. So let's create a security group. So basically this Apache has multiple authentication methods. No authentication, IAM authentication, and SASL authentication. So based on the authentication method, the port number will change. Okay, so whatever the security group you are creating, make sure the required ports are opened. So 9096, 9098, 21412142, that is Zookeeper. Okay, so you can just simply search MSK port numbers. Yeah, port information page is here, and you see here if you are using broker communication with plain text 9092, and to communicate broker with TLS encryption 9094, if the connectivity from where you want to connect to this MSK, right, if it is within the AWS 9094, for public access 9194, and SASL or SCRAM authentication. So basically you can create a user in a secrets manager, and you can attach that secret to our MSK cluster, and you can authenticate, okay, by using this SASL or SCRAM authentication method within the resource, within the AWS 9096, outside AWS 9194. And if you want to communicate broker, that's set up with IAM authentication 9098 as well as 9198. Alright, so I primarily use this IAM authentication. So 9098 I am opening. Also you can open 9096 as well if you want to create a secret and if you want to test that. So let me open 9096 as well as 9098. So security group name, MSK SG, right? So inbound roles 9096. I'm opening anywhere. That's, I really don't recommend to open anywhere. So you can open to your entire VPC also, right? For this demo purpose, I believe that is fine. Then create security group. Alright, so I'm going to use this MSK SG. Just give a refresh. MSK SG is here. Choose. Alright, so default security group automatically added. Okay, so MSK SG is now added. So then click on next. Now we have to choose how you want to get connected. So unauthorized access means, right, no authentication. Okay, anyone can get connect. So but that is absolutely not recommended. Okay, I'm not going to enable. And here IAM role based authentication I'm enabling, and SASL or SCRAM authentication, right? So I'm enabling it. And so basically we do have an option called so TLS mutual authentication method option. So but for that we have to generate a private CS certificate in ACM service, so that involve with some cost. Okay, so we are good with IAM as well as this SASL authentication method, and data in transit is enabled. Data at rest also enable with AWS default master key. Click on next. And you want to enable monitoring. So basic monitoring is free. Enhanced broker level monitoring, we have broker 1 and broker 2 we will get, right? So broker level monitoring we have, topic level monitoring also. So basically this topic level monitoring gives you more logging information, what is happening at topic level as well. So we have something called partition, so you can enable partition level monitoring also. Okay, I'm good with this topic level monitoring for now, and you can integrate with Prometheus, and you can store all the logs into CloudWatch logs group. So where do you want to store all this broker log delivery? So you can create a log group and you can use that. Here click on create log group. I'm going to call this as MSK logs. Retention, you can configure some retention period, then create. So now we can choose this MSK logs log group. Okay, you can simultaneously send these logs to Amazon S3 or Data Firehose. Right, so you want to add any tags, you can add, then click on next. This is the review screen, then click on create cluster. So basically this MSK cluster creation takes up to 15 minutes. Okay, a typical cluster takes up to 15 minutes to create. So meanwhile, I will launch an EC2 instance. I will install Java. Okay, so basically that's a prerequisite. So I'm going to install Java within that instance, and also as we are going to use IAM authentication, right? So we need a role. Okay, you can create a role and you can attach that role to our EC2 instance. So for that role information and all, what you can do here, basically AWS documentation is there. So you can go to this AWS documentation and create authorization policy for IAM role. So you can go there, and here is the role. So basically this is for a specific resource or a cluster. So you can replace this with your cluster ARN once your cluster got created, right? So yeah, this is the ARN. We can replace this with the ARN. Otherwise, if you don't want to, or if you are just trying out things for the first time, you don't want to spend time on this creating roles and all. So simply you can attach admin role to your EC2 instance. So let me take this policy and let me grab my cluster ARN. So this is my cluster ARN. I'm replacing it. Cluster topic wise also we can do. Topics not really required. I'm going to give all resource, and this is group and describe group, this also. So now we have to create a policy by using it. Let's navigate to IAM, policies, create policy. I'm taking this JSON and click on next, and the policy name I'm calling it as a MSK connect policy, and create policy. Right, a policy created here. So now we are going to use this policy and we'll create a role. Click on create role. So we are going to attach this role to our EC2 instance. So I'm selecting EC2 here. Click on next and give the policy name we create, the policy, attach the policy we created. Click on next and I'm calling it as a MSK connect. Click on create role. So now the role got created. So let's launch an EC2 instance now. So let's go to EC2 instance, EC2 service, and yeah, I'm going to launch instance. I'm going to call this as a test MSK instance. I'm taking Amazon Linux 2023 AMI, T3 micro. I'm in Hyderabad region. T3 micro comes under free tier eligibility. If it is a Mumbai, it's going to be T2 micro. And select the key pair. Let me create a key pair, MSK KP. Right. So now I'm going to create a security group. I'm going to allow SSH connectivity to this EC2 instance and go to advanced details, attach the role we created. Just search for MSK. Yeah, you can see this MSK connect role I'm attaching to this EC2 instance. Then launch instance. All right. So now EC2 instance got created. Let's get connected to it. So I'm using browser method. Click on connect. Click on connect. So now we got connected to this instance. I'm elevating my privileges to root, and now what we have to do here. So firstly we need Java. Okay, so second we have to download this Apache Kafka from official website. We have to unzip it. So then we need to do some basic configuration thing. We have to create something called client.properties, and we have a jar file for IAM authentication. We have to download that as well. So for that, first I'm going to install Java 17 Amazon Corretto. Right, so Java installation happening now. All right, so now Java space -version to verify the Java installation status. Yes, Java installed successfully. So now let's go to Kafka website, Kafka download. So you can go here, download Apache Kafka. And so basically we are using 3.5.1, right? So download same version, 3.5.1. Okay, so I'm using binary downloads. So if you are using the source download, right, you need to compile it. So I'm going to copy the link address. I'm using where is the instance connect one? Yeah, I'm using duplicate command and I'm downloading it. Okay, it's downloaded, but it's a zip file. So I'm unzipping it. Okay, so it's unzipped. So let me remove that zip file. Yeah. So now here is our Kafka directory. So if you give ls, you can see this bin config libs. So these three important. Okay. So if you go to bin, right? So here we will have the required scripts. If you are using Windows operating system, there is a folder called Windows. You go inside the Windows. So you will have uh, .batch files here to use with Windows operating system. Okay, so this is this script we are going to use to generate the message, to consume the messages. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is config. All configuration related files will be here under .properties format. So I told you, right, we have to create something called connect.properties. We are going to create here, and the required libraries under lib. So the AWS IAM MSK authentication library also we have to place under that lib. So now let's create that client.properties file. So if you want to know like what exactly the client.property contains, so you can go to this configure clients for IAM authentication. You can scroll down, you see this, use MSK custom AWS MSK IAM mechanism to configure IAM. You see this, this is this is what we have to create under client.properties. So I'm creating this client.properties under under config. Okay, vim client.properties, and you can copy this. So basically this trust or location, right, not mandatory. So if you are not giving anything, it will use like our local Java trust store information. So you can delete that line, press escape :wq. Right, the client.properties now created. Okay, so the next thing we have to download. So this AWS MSK IAM authentication jar file. So just go to this link. Basically this is a GitHub link. So you can go here, AWS MSK IAM authentication jar. I'm taking the most recent version. So where we have to store this, it's under libs. Now wget, give the link, and it's actually downloaded. Okay, so now the required configuration part completed. So now basically we have to create a topic. Okay, so to create a topic, so we are going to use this kafka-topics.sh. Okay, and then we are going to create a topic. So the command is -create -topic. What is the topic name you want to give, and where is the properties file, the client.properties file we created, right? So where is that file? You have to give that file information. Then bootstrap server. So whatever the servers you get, right? So once you create, once this MSK creation completed, so we will get client information here. So when you click on this client information, automatically it will show us the bootstrap servers information. You can replace with that. You can simply replace this line. So this is to create a topic, and if you want to produce any message via console, there is another script. So basically let me show you. If you go to this bin, you see we have all the scripts, right? So you can use this, for example, kafka-acls.sh is there. So this is to set up ACLs, access control list. Okay, so we can control user and their level of access to the topics as well. Okay, so for that you need to use this. And so if you want to create a topic, you see this kafka-topics.sh, and you want to produce a message, you want to consume a message, you can use this console consumer, console producer. Okay, so these all scripts we are actually using, okay, to test the connectivity, creating and everything. Okay, so this actually will take some time. Once it is ready, I will continue this video. Okay, so finally the cluster is active. So we can view this client information. So based on the authentication method we are using, whether we are using IAM or SASL authentication, so we can copy this uh, basically broker endpoints. Okay, so we can use both endpoints, or we can use only one endpoint as well. I'm taking both endpoints, and let me replace this. Okay, so not only for that, so total 3 commands, right? I'm replacing for all the 3 commands here. Okay, so now so our cluster is ready, and the DC2 instance configuration also. Okay, the session got disconnected. Let me reconnect, and let's go inside the Kafka and all the things configured here. So now, so I'm using this Kafka topic, which is placed under bin, and I'm going to create a topic. The topic name is sample topic. Okay, so I'm passing the properties, like which authentication method it need to use. So that information we have stored in this client.properties, right? So I'm giving that file path as well as this bootstrap server information. Okay, so let me execute this command. Okay, you can see here it's created a topic, sample topics. Okay, so yeah, so now a sample topic got created. So what we can do, we can use this console producer. Okay, we can use this console producer, and we can manually type messages. Whatever message you want to send, we can type the messages within the terminal itself. Okay, so then we can use this consumer. Okay, so we are using same topic to consume the message. Okay, so which authentication method you want to use, you can pass that here. So basically, this part is like, earlier it is command config to create a topic, right? So for producer, it's going to be producer.config. For consumer, it is going to be consumer.config option. So let me copy this producer and let me paste it. So we are using the topic we created to send messages. Okay, so we are ready to send message, right? I have sent a message called test. So now to consume that message, so basically we can use one terminal for consumer, and we can use another terminal for producer. So I'm establishing another connectivity to this instance. So here is the producer, this is for consumer. Okay, so now I'm going to take this consumer command, I'm going to execute that here. So now we can start sending messages from here. See, I'm generating message from this producer, and observe here in this consumer terminal. I'm typing test1, and immediately test1 is consumed here. Test2, test3, 1, 2, 3, 4. You see all the messages I'm typing here. So basically it is consumed by this consumer. Okay, so the topic, we are using this topic to send all the messages, right? So that is a topic, and this message producer, I'm manually producing these messages, and I'm using this console consumer to consume all that messages. Okay, so for this process we have used IAM authentication, and we do have another authentication method as well. Okay, so to use that another authentication method, so let me fix this browser thing. Yeah, so yeah, so we have used this IAM authentication, right? So along with the IAM authentication, we do have this SASL authentication, right? So for that, what you can do, you have to create a secret, and that secret you have to attach it to this MSK cluster. Okay, so click on associate secret, then you see here create secret option, click on create secret. Okay, so basically we should have this Amazon MSK underscore as a prefix for the secret name. If you are not using it, it won't pick. Okay, and what is a format, or what we actually have to give under the secret? So basically we have to give a username and password. So choose other type of secret, and under plain text you can give username and password. So for that, what actually I'm doing, I'm going with AWS documentation again. Okay, so set up authentication. So this should be the format. So let's copy this format, and let me create a secret. Under plain text I'm giving it. So user, I'm going to call this user as a MSK user. So passcode is going to be YT-MSK user PWD. Okay, so we again the encryption part. So we have to choose a different encryption key, whatever the default encryption key we have, right? If you are using that encryption key, it won't work. Okay, so yeah, you have to add a new key. So basically you need to create a new CMK, customer managed key. Click on create key. So I'm using symmetric encryption and decryption. Click on next. So key name MSK underscore key. Next. So key administrator, I'm going to have this key administrative permissions, and MSK connect role, I'm giving permission to decrypt, the key usage permission. Also I'm giving key usage permission for my ID as well. So then click on finish. All right, so new MSK key got created, KMS key got created. So I'm using that key to encrypt these credentials, and we can automatically rotate these credentials with the help of a lambda function. So we can choose a lambda function to perform that. So I'm like, just creating a secret. So secret name MSK-secret, click on next. Automatic rotation I'm not configuring. Okay, then click on next, and store. So by using your application code, so you want to call this secret and you want to use that secret, here is a sample code you can use based on programming language you're using. Then click on store. So now a secret created, and observe the secret don't have any resource permissions, right? Whenever we are attaching that secret to our MSK cluster, so the resource permissions will update automatically. Now click on choose secrets. Okay, and once the secret got created, we can use that. I did a mistake. So basically the name of the secret should start with this Amazon MSK underscore. I hope we don't have any option to edit the name. So obviously I have to create a new secret. Okay, other type of secret, and the name MSK secret is the name I'm going to use, and the format is this. This is the format. Okay, MSK user YT MSK user secret. This is going to be the secret information. Where is it? Oops. Yeah, other type of secret, navigating to plain text, given that information, and I'm choosing the KMS key, click on next, and secret name, yeah, we have to give this Amazon MSK underscore, then you can give any name. So otherwise, yeah, whenever you're trying to choose a secret, right, it won't show you. Okay, so let's click on next, next, and store. All right, so now it got created. Let's go here, give a refresh. Now the secret it is showing. So basically the prefix, uh, because of the prefix only now it is showing. So I'm selecting that secret, then click on choose secret, then associate secrets. Okay, MSK failed to associate one secret. So basically sometimes we will get that error, and you see this resource permission just now updated, so we can try one more time. Associate secrets, choose secret, choose secrets, and associate secret. Yeah, now it is associated. So now so far whatever the authentication method we use, right, that's a IAM authentication. So but now this time we are going to use this SASL authentication method by using 9096 port number. Okay, for that let's go to AWS documentation, and you see here connecting to your cluster with sign-in credentials. So yeah, so basically we have to um, export something. We have to export this Jazz config file. So basically we have to create something called users underscore Jazz config, and we have to export it. So along with that we should have uh, like some other thing. Yeah, we should have SSL trust or location as well. Okay, so then we can use it and we can get connected to the Kafka cluster. Okay, if you want to use secrets manager authentication method, we have to configure something. So basically we have to create something called users underscore jazz.config. So then we have to create a basically trust store JKS file, and then we have to create something called client SASL properties. So then we can use that secrets manager authentication method. So for that, firstly, I'm going to create this users dot conf file. Okay, so let me, so this is a content. Okay, so this users underscore jazz.conf file I'm going to create now. So I'm under my Kafka path. So VIM. So now whatever the username you have configured, whatever the password you have configured, just copy that username and password uh, and paste it or replace it here. So then you can write that information here into this file. All right. So the file users underscore jazz.conf file actually created. That's the first step. Second step is we need this .jks file, right? And we have to export that users.jazz. So for that, you just replace this path, like where actually users underscore jazz.conf file is. So in my case, it is under home EC2 user Kafka path. So I'm going to export it. Okay, it's done. So now basically this is a path where we are going to have CS certificates of our installed Java. So basically it's under USR lib JVM. So in our case it's Java 17, right? Within that Java 17 we have lib security CS certs. So we are simply taking that CS certs file and we are copying wherever we want and we are naming it as a kafka.client trust store JKS. So if you are using different Java version, this path, the highlighted path may change a bit. So let me do that here. So now if you observe, we got this kafka client.truststore.jks file as well. Okay, so now we have to create a file called client SASL properties. Okay, so earlier for this Kafka authentication method, right? So earlier, if you observe, okay, it's in AWS documentation only. So authentication method, it is IAM method, right? But this time we are giving security protocol as a SASL and SERAM SHA 512 and we are giving trust store location. So let's create this. Okay, and this one actually I copied from AWS documentation only. Same thing is actually mentioned here. I just given my path. Okay, so let's paste it here. Press escape :WQ. All right, the required files configuration is now created. Okay, so now if you want to create a topic, so we can use this Kafka topics script. We are passing bootstrap servers information. So this replication factor partitions, it's not mandatory. Okay, so topic name. So what topic name you want to give and where is the configuration file. So command config path is this. So client underscore SASL properties, right? So this one. So now let me give a topic name, test topic 1. So now let me copy this, let me paste it here and now it should create a topic. You see here created topics, test topic 1, and also you want to produce any message, the same commands you can use and in place of this command config you can use producer.config and if you want to consume consumer.config you can use and you can produce messages and make sure you replace this example topic. Okay, so now let's copy and paste it. Now you see here we got connected and we are able to produce the messages here. So we can even use it consumer.config and we can consume the messages as well. Alright, so this is how exactly we can authenticate our MSK cluster by using IAM authentication method as well as secrets manager authentication method. Alright, I hope you found this video helpful and see you again in next video. So if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe and see you again next video. Thank you guys.